Do you guys know what a preliminary title report is? Well, it's something that you're going to have to do when we go into escrow. And the title company is the one who pulls the preliminary title report for you. So why is this important to you? Because on the title report, it does have different items on there. We want to make sure that there's no liens on the property. We want to make sure all the taxes are paid. And we've had a couple of scenarios, even Shelly's had a couple of scenarios where that didn't happen. And that was kind of a red flag. So we're gonna go ahead and talk about those today.
So to talk through a couple of red flags to look at, and not to alarm you in any way, this is definitely something when you're working with a professional like Bobbie and myself, we can walk through this together. In one instance, we had a seller that we had a child support judgment that was a lien placed upon their home. That lien had to be paid off prior to us closing on the loan, which meant that the seller had to have enough money from either net proceeds or even cash out of pocket to pay off that child support before closing.
Yes, exactly. Because once something like that happens, or a utility or anything like that, it does become a lien on the property. And to be honest, some of the sellers don't even know until we go to sell the house. And that's why we pull the preliminary. The title company will definitely tell us if there is a lien on the property. So that way the seller is now forewarned.
Yeah.
The other incident we had is that the seller had pulled money from the house. They pulled a little bit of money from the house, and that does affect their proceeds. So now when on the sell side, when we go tell them about their equity, it could be lower. So as a seller, you do need to tell the real estate agent that you do have these loans that are pulled, so we could do a correct equity sheet for you. Now, in this instance, Shelly would be on the buyer's side, and I was on the seller's side. So we needed to get $10,000 from the seller to be able to pay that off. Now, does that affect the buyers?
Yeah, so in that particular case, if the seller was unable to come up with the difference, there were different ways to navigate through that, which could be possibly increasing the sales price so that the net proceeds would have been high enough to offset that second mortgage, which would have increased the buyer's monthly payment because it would have been a higher sales price, right?
Mm-hmm.
And down payment, which would have affected the loan amount. So that would have affected the mortgage payment for the buyer.
Yeah, it does affect the mortgage payment for them. It does affect their debt to income ratio now because we're going to higher the price. So we have to notify not only the title company, the seller, the buyer, the lender. They have to put everything together to be able to close this property now. So kind of like starting over, correct? Yeah. So that does affect the loan. And so if you are the buyer, you want to make sure that you look at this preliminary title report. You will get a copy. Your agent will get a copy. Go over it. If you see anything that says lien, that is a red flag. And we want to make sure that everybody knows about it and what's going on with that.
Also say, not to super alarm you, but it is definitely something to just pay attention to. I would say it's probably less than 5% in all of our transactions that we've done together that has, or actually, it's probably less than 5% in all of the transactions that I've ever done where something like this has impacted or created some sort of delay in closing.
Yeah, no, I agree. It's very minimal.
Yeah.
And also too, in the state of Nevada, we have to give you marketable title, which means free and clear title. So we cannot just sell you the house and then later on you're gonna find out that there's a lien on the property. Right. So you're gonna know ahead of time, which is always a blessing.
There's also insurance, title insurance from the owner's title insurance policy, as well as if you are getting financing or getting a loan on the property, we as a lender require lender title insurance as well to ensure that the home is free and clear and that if there is a loan, we are the first position on that loan. But that gives them some assurance as well that they wouldn't be responsible for that if it came up.
So that's pretty much the preliminary report. If you have any questions about this, our information's right here. You can call us, text us, email us, however you guys want to get a hold of us. We're here to help you in any way possible. And with that said, you guys make it a blessed day.